Hey guys, welcome back to another review. To start off, right off the bat, this is not made for kids. This is not a kid-friendly video. There is adult language in it, so after warning all parents, we will begin. Okay. Hey guys, sorry I haven't been on, I don't know, like 3 months. A lot of stuff is going on in my life, but there you go. Anyway, moving on. Here we're looking at a 1973 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. Oh yeah. There's the channel's mascot. And there we go. Look at that. Gorgeous car, man. 1/18 scale, die cast with plastic and rubber. This is like, shoot, I don't even know, like the 5th, 6th time I'm doing this review, because I always get lost in talking about the real car versus the 1/18 scale car. So I'm trying not to do that in this video. I'm gonna try to focus a little bit on the real car, mainly on the 1/18 scale car. I'm gonna try. And if not, we're gonna do another 6th or 7th video. Alright guys, let's check it out. So the paint on this is gorgeous. This is a cameo white. It did have a chip, a paint chip right at the nose. We will look at it right now. So if we come in over here and look pretty closely, I don't know if it will, the color difference will come out on YouTube or not, but you can kind of see where I just dabbed a little bit of the white just right there, just to cover up that little paint chip. But other than that, if it did not have that, this car is in mint condition. Beautiful, beautiful 1/18 scale. And there goes Harley. Now, right off the bat, this car was what some would say the last of the American muscle car, as in 1973 with the with the 455 Super Duty. Now, you did have this particular engine in the 74 to 70, I want to say 76 almost. Could be probably just 74, 75. Either way, emissions made things very difficult for car companies to come out with actual muscle cars after the 60s. So what Pontiac always did, and again, there is people that actually worked with Pontiac to do this, and they say this in the videos that they are interviewed under, basically. And what they did was to comply with the emissions, with all this other stuff, they would downplay the actual horsepower that the engines were putting out. The reason for this was because the insurance companies after the 60s were getting very tight or very restricted on muscle cars. So what they ended up doing was, the more horsepower you had, the more premiums of insurance you had to pay. So anything over 300, anything over 350 horses, you had to pay a certain amount. So what they did in 73 was they would put this engine, the Super Duty 455, and everybody knew that this engine was over 300 horses. But what Pontiac did was they listed it as 290 or 280 or something like this. And the insurance companies were not charging so much money to own this car. So it was like, how do I say this? Like, if somebody went in and they're working a 9-to-5 job and they wanted a car like this, but the insurance to buy the car, to have the car insured for a while, to have a car like this, it would kill the customers from buying a car like this because of the insurance premiums. So what happened is, when they changed it under 300 horses, excuse me, when they changed it under 300 horses, like 280 or 290 they would list it as, it would cut back on the insurance premiums. So that person that wants this car could buy it more easily. They did not stop doing that even in, which is the channel's mascot, my 1993 Trans Am. The 1993 Trans Am LT1 engine on my car, everybody says, oh, again, just like the 73, the 1993 LT1 was not V-tuned, as they say. It was just, there's several things that they did that did not allow the engine to create the 300 horses that the Corvette did in 1992. Okay? So, and those are very, very simple things that they did, which I'll just show you right here real quick. One of them was the exhaust, which is actually a lot better than most would think. So that is not a big issue, like a huge issue. It was pretty damn good. The other issue was this right here, the air duct. Because the Corvette had the air duct straight. So instead of going a 45-degree angle and then another 45-degree angle, it was just straight and then slanted like maybe 15 or maybe not 15, maybe like 60 degrees downwards into the front bumper so that the air can go under the bumper, into the intake, into the engine. That's all. That's all it was in 1993. And again, for the most part, they did like in 1973, oh, this engine is only putting out 280 or 290 horses, when in realistic, it's over 300, like 310, I think it was, or 320, or it was around there. So they did the exact same thing in 1993 all the way to 1990, I'm going to say 97. Or maybe not even 97, let's say 95. 93 to 95, because, man, what is wrong with me? So in 1993 to 1995, they listed the LT1 with 275 horses, when in fact, it was pushing out close to 300. In 1996 and 7, not the WS6 performance package, the basic Trans Am was pushing 285. But again, that was more closer to what the 93 to 95 was pushing, a little bit a little bit over that, but there you go. And the reason why they were saying that it was pushing out this much was because the sales were dropping. So in the 70s, the sales, like I'm going to say when they brought the Firebird out in 67, they skyrocketed. Nothing on the road could touch these cars. And yes, there's going to be a lot of guys that are, you don't know what you're talking about. A lot of cars would beat the Trans Am. Well, you have a difference there. Like, as in some guys would say, I used to have a Challenger, I used to have a Cuda, I used to have a Superbird or a Roadrunner or whatever. And I beat a Trans Am. Well, are you sure it was a Trans Am? It could have been a Firebird with a V8. As in, so, again, I'm getting lost. Sorry. In 1993 to 2002, all Firebirds came with V6. If you wanted the V8 in the body style of a Firebird, it would be a Formula. And then so forth, it would be a Firehawk, and then a Trans Am, and then a Macho Trans Am, and all this other Trans Ams. In the 60s, 67, when they started, 67, 68, all Firebirds came with V8s. Or at least maybe not all of them, but most of them. In 69, the first Trans Am came out, which was silver. And everybody's going to say, no, it was white. Well, the prototype, the very first Trans Am to come out was silver. And then when they green-lit the prototype, the ones that were actually made for the public were blue and white. Okay, now, those had, I believe, the Ram Air 4? Or Ram Air 5? Or maybe it was Ram Air 3 and Ram Air 4. Either way, it was a Ram Air. It was a very powerful engine. It was pushing out about 350. I'm going to say, just to be safe, 345 horsepower and about 360 foot-pounds of torque. Again, at the time, nothing could beat that car. So that was a true muscle car. And again, 69. Okay? So anyway, moving on. In 70, that was right when the emissions came in and the factors for the insurance premiums and all this stuff. Okay, now. So in 73, right before they changed, and there you go, something fell. Okay, I think it was a remote to the TV because I have it on mute because, copyrights. So anyway, right before they changed the front bumper, which the front bumper looks like this, and it looked this way from 70 to 73. They changed it from 74, 75, and 76. And then they changed it again to 77, 78. And then they changed it again in 79 to 1981. Okay? So a lot of people, just like these cars right here, a lot of people hate the 74 to 76 front bumper Trans Am. They hate it with a passion. And they hate these right here with a passion. I don't. At first, when I had my third gens, for a very long time, about 10 years give or take, I really did not like this front style. But as time went on, and I did buy a 1993 Arctic White Trans Am, which is again the, how do you say? Oh my god. Anyway, the mascot, sorry, the channel's mascot is because this right here, and I don't care what anybody says, this is my personal opinion. If you don't like it, hey, sorry. But, you know, there you go. This is the most aerodynamic Trans Am ever to roll off of Pontiac. The other one, which would be the 98 to 2002, had a lot more ripples on it. A lot more, like the headlights were rounded. The bumper was a little, like maybe half an inch closer. The hood was more bulgy. This one here was the most aerodynamic out of all of them. So if you want one of these, or you have another one like a 98 2002, you want it to be at a drag strip, or you wanted more power and all this stuff. Maybe not more power. How should I say? More aerodynamic. This is the front bumper you want. That's the way I should describe it. Not more power. Okay. So this 1/18 scale die-cast car is gorgeous. Okay, I'm gonna put this over here. Let's open the doors here, and let's open the hood if I can. It has the Pontiac blue engine block with blue valve covers, just like the 70s, the 60s, all that. The only thing that this car does not have is, if we look in the back, where the trunk closes, right under the Trans Am. Do you see what it's missing? Gonna get close here. A tiger's tail. Why would you put a tiger tail? What the hell? That was a thing in the 60s and 70s, where if you put gas at an Exxon, you were, it was like a promotion that you were running Exxon gas, which was high performance gas at the time, and still to this day, but they don't promote it anymore. You would put a tiger's tail, a little plush stuffed animal type tail sticking out of the trunk. So, you know, I thought it was an interesting piece of history that you would want to know. So, the rims, the wheels and all that are gorgeous as well. The detail on them is amazing. Just flat out gorgeous. So let's look under the hood there. It's all black. Very, very nice. We're gonna close that, close this, and we're gonna look under here. Okay, and then I'm gonna look this way. You can see right there, 1/18 scale, 1973 Firebird Trans Am. Gonna look over here. ERTL, licensed by GM Corporation. This is an amazing, beautiful car. The other thing I wanted to mention right before I stop this video is that this car actually came out in Dazed and Confused. But the one that came out in Dazed and Confused was a 1974 Trans Am, which again was the reason why I brought up this front bumper issue there. But other than that, it was white with blue bird, the Trans Am, and they do talk about it. The guy that drives it was Clint, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review, this long one, but at least it's under 40 minutes. So there you go. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.